All right, here it is. David is a Troy Pottenger, what do you call it, disciple? Would that be it?
Dr. Troy?
Sure. But he is going to break down how he does the Troy Pottenger scrape. I'm going to zoom out a little bit here.
Yep.
So kind of give us everything here.
Okay, so at first glance, this tree is a little bit tall for my liking, but I also am going to take in consideration that when it gets the leaves on, this tree will sag a little bit more. So it's
how tall is it right now, you think?
Well, it's what, 6'2" maybe?
I'm 5'10", so
You're 5'10"?
Yeah.
Yeah, so just about 6 foot. So what I'm going to do with here, and I've made this mistake, that I'm just going to hinge cut the branch just a little bit, so then I can get a little bit of bend to it.
Yep.
A little bit of sag, but it's still going to keep growing. But you don't want to do it too much. If you hinge cut them too much, the bucks get aggressive with them, and they're just going to freaking tear the thing right off. Yeah. So the key is to just kind of find a good point in here where you kind of want to hinge cut them. I'm going to guess right here, and it's not going to take a whole lot. Just enough where it's going to get a little more sag to it. And then what I really like to do is I like to come in. I want to break some of these branches right off. I want it to basically look like if you're out here scouting and you come across it, you would have said, hey, look at this scrape, David.
Yeah, now you got the branch at about 5'8".
Yep. And
And
I'll keep kind of doing this with some of these smaller branches too. And we're going to lose some of these. And then what I'll do on some of the ends, I'll actually get a pocket knife out. That's it. There's only one other guy that I know will do this, but I'll actually take and kind of scrape some of this bark off the ends. Really open that up. So when we start spraying this, it's going to be real strong smell into those whitetails.
so it's just going to absorb more
Yep.
of that scent. And you're okay with touching right now?
Right now.
I mean, we're in April
Yep,
right now, so.
Yep, we're building it right now. The biggest thing is going to be today is really opening it, making it look like a scrape, and they'll get used to it.
I'm gonna have to get an Exodus on this like this week.
Yeah. Well, not only that, so when you come back to put a camera on it, you're going to know already, because when we open it, you'll know if there's deer hitting it already. But yeah, when you open these ends of the branches, it really holds a lot of scent. And when you find your best scrapes, no matter what state you're in, you look at the end of those branches, they're all broke, right?
Yep.
They're getting really, really aggressive with it. But the big thing here is not to hinge cut it too much, because they will just break the shit out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like a good height, considering we are going to get some branches or some leaves on there. So then I'm gonna really open this up. And I didn't bring one with me today, but in the summertime, when I'm building scrapes, I like to take a kid's rake. You ever see like the real small ones? Something I can strap on my backpack. Or I'll take an actual rake and cut it down to like a 3-foot rake. Where it allows be able to pack in and out, and then you can really clean it out. But those rakes, the only thing I use those rakes for is for the actual scrapes.
Okay.
I'm not using them at home, not picking up dog shit with it, nothing like that. I like to open stuff up really, really big, make it visual to the deer. You know, in some season, I wouldn't be doing this with my boot. I'd probably be using a stick, long arming it, making sure I'm not putting my boot tracks in here or anything.
Talk about how level the dirt is, because that's something you mentioned to me off camera a little bit ago on a different location, how it wasn't level enough.
Yeah.
And honestly, I would have looked at it and been like, oh, a scrape could go there. It really wasn't that big of a change.
Yeah. So up there, you kind of seen me, I was really him-hawing about a scrape up there, and the dirt was on a slight angle.
Yeah.
And just from my findings, the whitetails really like that flat spot, something where they can stand at and really work. Here, I'm going to expect the buck's actually going to come right up in here, and he's actually going to probably approach it and work it just like this. That's why we're going to have a camera there, but this is a nice flat spot, and I think this is going to be so well because everything outside of this either way is not flat. Everything works down. This is one little flat spot right here, probably like a 5x5 area, and this should be good. I really do. I think this will be good. I'm going to open up big. I know it looks really big, but this visually to a whitetail, he's going to see this. I talked about it in the podcast. It's going to smell like brand new dirt, worked up dirt, just like how a farmer does.
And I would think right now, like, we've gotten a lot of rain lately. It's so wet. Like, that dirt you got is almost like mud.
Then a lot of times I'll just take the extra leaves and really spread them out so it's not like extremely edged up on the sides. I'm going to clear out anything. I don't want anything in or around that scrape.
You're making a dinner plate for them.
I'm making this thing. They have to stop and check this.
Yeah.
Right? They have to stop it. If they're coming out of that bedding and working this bench or working this one here, they have to stop and check this.
And what David was saying too, on the different terrain, like you can see how level it is there. This comes down and then this continues down. So everything, this is like a mini bench. It really is.
Okay.
So explain to me what you got there.
Okay, we got this is just the buck fever. This is the forehead gland. In my opinion, this is the most important part of this scrape, okay? I'm not worried about putting anything in the actual dirt today. This is what every time I come in here, or not me, but it's gonna be you. You come in, you wanna put a camera in here, just hit it with this. And my guess is you're gonna send me some texts in July and August. You're gonna go, dude, look, they're actually hitting that thing. It's really taking off. But this is the most important part.
And you're not paid by them or nothing.
No, I buy this with my own damn money. Yeah. So I'm just gonna really work into these ends that I cut. I really want to work into those ends. And anything I opened up, even up here, even though he may not be up here scraping, this is gonna hold scent right there. And naturally, this is dripping down into the scrape already. And something I learned bear hunting, if you go out with bear guys and they're trying to get animals to come into something, they're spraying high up in the tree. So if today, if we needed to use rope or something to make a scrape, I would have been spraying that rope to really get it to hold scent. So now we're back to that first hinge cut. I'm gonna really spray inside this. An animal's not gonna come and scrape right there, but what they are gonna do, they're gonna be able to smell this down in here.
Mm-hmm.
That wind, that off wind we started talking about that setup towards that, when that wind changes to go down next couple days or whatever, any animal down there is going to smell this.
Yep.
I don't know if there's any animals in there right now, but
I don't think there is, because they're clear cutting back here. It sounds like they're on the neighbors.
But this scrape's made now. This isn't going to get any more leaves in it. You know, you can every time you come in here, if you want to refresh in it or check a trail camera, take that rake and just keep opening it up.
Yep.
And you'll start seeing tracks and whatnot. But this is before we leave, I'll take a stick and I'll take all my boot tracks right out of it one last time.
Okay. Well, there it is. I mean, that's how he builds the scrapes. That's really cool, because it's a lot different than I've ever built them. So it's something I'm going to be, doing from now on. And he took this. If you listen to the podcast that David and I did together a while ago, he was a student of Troy Pottenger's back 12 years ago, 10-12 years ago, and that's where he learned all this stuff from. So it's working for Troy. It's definitely working for David, because he kills giants in Michigan. He really does. But really cool, and we're gonna keep moving, keep scouting. So